All right, welcome back to the channel. So, Terence Crawford seen the performance of Canelo Alvarez last night, and he tweeted out and says, "We know who is pound for pound now." So, Terence Crawford saying he's clearly the #1 pound for pound king, not Canelo Alvarez. So, I'm going to break it down to y'all. Let's talk about it in this video. King Jr. got another video for y'all. Please sure that you like and subscribe to the channel, and also share the video to get all your latest boxing news. With that being said, it looks like a lot of top boxers was shocked last night after the performance of Canelo Alvarez. A lot of people were expecting Canelo Alvarez to bulldoze to this dude, and Floyd Mayweather himself even betted on Bivold to win the fight. He said that Bivold was going to win. He said that Canelo was going to win, but he wouldn't be surprised if Bivold won. And Floyd Mayweather bet at $10,000. I believe he got like $41,000 back. So shout out to Floyd Mayweather for betting on Bivold and getting his money still continuing. So and Floyd Mayweather also said that was easy work. So you guys know how Floyd Mayweather is. He always gonna hate on Canelo. So with that being said, Terence Crawford basically said, okay, let me tweet this out. Who's pound for pound #1 is me. So I can really say Terence Crawford is over Canelo Alvarez at this point, because Canelo Alvarez has no business losing to a guy like Dimitri Bivold. And I personally thought that he was going to beat Dimitri Bivold, but he didn't show me the head movement. He didn't show me he was getting down to the body. He just showed you that he has his brute strength, and hopefully that he can wear you down with his power. And Dimitri Bivold's game plan was that if Canelo Alvarez tried to wear me down or try to tag me in my arm, whatever the case may be, I'm going to simply fire back at him with some good combinations. And Bivold even said that he was hitting me in my arms, but he wasn't hitting me in the face. If you guys look at Bivold's face, Bivold looked like he ain't got a scratch on him. He might have a knick-knack scratch, but Bivold looked like he didn't have a scratch on him. And there was times that Bivold was pressing the action on him and really getting into Canelo Alvarez's grill. And I don't know at this point if Canelo is starting to fade out of his prime. And shout out to Fanon International Boxing. He brought up a great point. Canelo has basically 60, almost to damn near 60 plus fights. The man has been a professional for 20 plus years, and Canelo is starting to put a lot of miles on his legs. So this begs the question, is Canelo Alvarez getting out of the phase of his prime? He might be getting out of his prime early after seeing this performance, because now Bivold has figured out the game plan that, okay, this guy, he's just going to keep tagging my arm. Okay, let me try something different. Let me keep popping that jab. Let me keep popping him with that 1-2. Let me keep on doing what I got to do. If he comes at me forward, I'm going to set up some combinations for him. I'm going to make him eat his own combination. So Bivold was doing his thing. Bivold, I can say right now, is a masterclass boxer, okay? He may not be the biggest puncher, okay? I'm going to say this. He's a masterclass boxer. Bivold, I was surprised that he even won this fight. He wasn't even supposed to win this fight, and he won. And he proved the people wrong. Like Bivold says, y'all must think this guy is Jesus and invincible. And he showed that he ain't invincible. He shows that he ain't unbeatable, because he already was beat by Floyd Mayweather. So now we can't say Floyd Mayweather is the only person that beat Canelo Alvarez. Now we have to say Dimitri Bivold has beat Canelo Alvarez with a dominant performance. Now, I feel like who had the better performance, who beat Canelo Alvarez, I think Floyd Mayweather beat him convincingly. But I don't know. Bivold made it look easy to me. And now Canelo Alvarez is going to have to get back in the lab and hopefully take a big fight that he could be like, okay, I know I can beat this style. I know I don't have trouble with this style. I'm going to prove to the boxing fans and everybody wrong that I am still the best of the best. He's going to have to go back down to 168 and make some points, because now people is going to relentlessly start calling him out. And I personally think that Canelo Alvarez, he could beat Demetrius Andrade, he could beat Jamal Charlo, he could beat David Benavidez, he could beat so on and so forth. But like I said, that fight with David Benavidez, well, the reason why I say Boo Boo and Charlo is because I think Boo Boo and Charlo, they are not as hungry, because Boo Boo was getting all that money fighting in Euro bums Eddie Hearn had lined up for him. That's not Boo Boo's fault that he keeps fighting Euro bums Eddie Hearn lined up. And Jamal Charlo kept fighting bums that simply nobody at 160 wants no smoke. But Demetrius Andrade, he had a problem with Demetrius Andrade as well. So that's the reason I can say these two guys would lose against Canelo, because of the hunger. But David Benavidez is a hungry type of fighter, and he's looking to fight anybody, anytime, anywhere, in the case may be. And I feel like if David Benavidez tighten up on his defense, David Benavidez utilize the jab more, David Benavidez set up combinations and push Canelo Alvarez back like Demetrius Bivold did, I think David Benavidez has a very high chance of stopping Canelo Alvarez. It ain't no slight to Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez set up his counterpunch very well. He's a very good counterpuncher. He bends from the hips very well. But Bivold has neutralized all assets. He was neutralizing Canelo Alvarez from coming on the inside, because you know why? Bivold has a damn good jab. And I think that if David Benavidez apply that jab to Canelo Alvarez, he's going to get mauled. I think David Benavidez isn't going to he's going to relentlessly show you and break your will. And I think that Bivold broke his spirit last night, because Bivold was not about to go in there and lay down. He was going to make a statement. And now, shout out to Demetrius Bivold. He's going to be looking, hopefully he'll be looking to fight Arthur Beterbiev and the winner of Joe Smith Jr. I don't want to see him and Joe Smith Jr. because I already know how that outcome is going to get. Joe Smith Jr. is a very big puncher. He's looking for a one-punch. He's basically a puncher. He's looking for a one-punch knockout. And Demetrius Bivold was neutralizing everything that Joe Smith Jr. was throwing at him. And the funny thing is, Joe Smith Jr. can really outbox Demetrius Bivold, because Joe Smith Jr. has a 77-inch arm reach, and Demetrius Bivold has a 71-inch arm reach. In the smaller, well, the bigger man with the smaller arms was beating the crap out of Joe Smith Jr. But I'm really curious on how Demetrius Bivold is going to fight Arthur Beterbiev, two guys from Russia. Well, Arthur Beterbiev is from Canada, but he was from Russia, but he lived in Canada. So two main guys that was from Russia is going to really fight each other for Undisputed. I hope Demetrius Bivold go after those two. I really do, because we want to see Undisputed at 175. Who is the best light heavyweight at 175 pounds? And, Canelo Alvarez has a lot of work to make up. And people is already making excuses that Canelo was too big. Canelo was up 8-4 and so on. No, he was not up 8-4. I don't see Canelo was up 8-4. That's outrageous. I didn't see Canelo Alvarez utilize his jab to work his way on the inside. I didn't see none of that. He was simply had a game plan like Oscar Valdez. He was trying to find his way on the inside, and Demetrius Bivold was neutralized that with the jab alone and setting up combinations when Canelo Alvarez was throwing big punches back, trying to wear Demetrius Bivold down in the guard. Canelo Alvarez was coming in a high guard, using his head movement, but Demetrius Bivold was popping that jab out, was neutralizing Canelo Alvarez's way on the inside, and that's how Demetrius Bivold won this fight. And Terence Crawford, is Terence Crawford the number one pound-for-pound best? Absolutely. He will be officially the 1 pound for pound king if he is successful against Errol Spence Jr., which I don't think he will be. But you have to put Terence Crawford at number 1, Errol Spence Jr. at number 2, then Canelo Alvarez at number 3, because those guys haven't lost. Canelo Alvarez has now 2 losses on his resume, and we can't make excuses. I still rock with Canelo. I think Canelo is a exceptional fighter, and I still think he's going to fight these guys. But like Fanad International Boxing says, the guy has damn near 60 fights, and he's starting to slow down. So who knows? Is Canelo starting to fade out his prime early like Oscar De La Hoya? Who knows? That worries me a little bit. And in my opinion, Canelo Alvarez says he's got 5 more years into him. Well, you might want to rethink that decision, because if you get a guy in there like a Demetrius Bivold, or a guy with a high work rate and the same game plan that to push you back, whatever you throw at him, it's not going to work, and continue to beat you up, you're going to continue to take an L like that. And Canelo's going to have to get in the lab and make adjustments. And Eddie Reynoso is an overrated trainer. You know, this guy knew what he was doing from the beginning with. He was trying to make Canelo avoid the big fight. See, this is what happens when you make your fighter avoid big fights. I don't believe Canelo Alvarez was ducking. I believe Eddie Reynoso was was not letting Canelo Alvarez test himself by fighting these guys, and he simply just got outclassed by a guy that we don't even know about within Demetrius Bivold. No slight to Demetrius Bivold, but this is Eddie Reynoso's fault. Eddie Reynoso, in my opinion, is not a better than Bo Mack or Derrick James. That's just my opinion at the end of the day. And I just hope Canelo Alvarez bounce back from this situation. He can bounce back from this situation, and I think he's going to make the adjustment he needs. Or flat out simple, just get rid of Eddie Reynoso. Eddie Reynoso, he's a lazy-ass trainer. You can see that he's getting fat, too. He's a lazy-ass trainer. He's just doing the same thing. He's not giving Canelo Alvarez the greatest advice to beat these top-tier fighters. And Demetrius Bivold, shout out to him again. He proven that, look, you're just not going to come into the division and get undisputed like that. I'm going to take that away from you, and he sure did. So, is Terence Crawford the number one pound-for-pound best fighter in the world? I have to totally agree. Terence Crawford is right on, and he says we know who's number one now. So, Terence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr., Canelo Alvarez, I wouldn't even be shocked if they put Inoue ahead of Canelo Alvarez and put Canelo Alvarez number 4 on that list and put Inoue number 3. So, whatever the case may be, guys. So, with that being said, guys, it is what it is. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. This is your boy King Jr. I'm out of here. Peace.